we're doing this simultaneously on YouTube on Antonio's channel,
Yes.
and we wanted to just do this live so that you can see all of us here.
Before the mosquitoes eat us
We're
alive.
gonna
Oh
we're
my God.
being eaten alive. We're out in the dock,
Yes, yes.
and we we are enjoying the sunset behind us. This is the sunset right here.
Right there.
There
Let
we
me.
go. And we just wanted to reach out to you because we've got some ideas, and hopefully you can tell us how you feel about these ideas.
Yeah.
First of all, we want to talk about Antonio's class coming up.
Yes. If the mosquitoes allow me to talk, this is terrible.
We have so many mosquitoes
Ooh.
around us. It's like we're for dinner tonight.
Yes.
So
let's
yeah.
let's walk that way because they're gonna eat us alive. I don't know. 1 second.
Okay, we may trip off the dock, and that will be fun to watch.
Yes. No problem. So, well, I went to visit my mom in Miami. Believe it or not, I rode my motorcycle all the way from Charlotte, North Carolina, to Miami. And I'm actually on my way back, and Alba invited me to spend some time here. I stopped here for a few hours before continuing my trip, and this is her place, right? Let me see if I can turn the camera around. I'm not able to, yes, I'm able to
This is
turn
on
the
YouTube
camera.
Live also.
This is YouTube Live. The mosquitoes are eating us alive. That is amazing.
They're like piranhas,
Yes.
flying piranhas.
So we're talking about the classes, upcoming classes of introspective hypnosis, right,
Yes.
Alba?
Yes.
Okay. So there's one. If you guys are interested, again, before I'm eating alive, if you guys are interested, we're posting one in December. December,
You are
yes,
hosting.
hosting online.
So Antonio is having an introspective hypnosis class in December online. How many
Right.
days, Antonio?
It's gonna be 6 days.
Yes.
And before the class, there's also going to be a workshop. This is a new workshop facilitating the symptoms of the soul.
Yes.
That's the new one. Let me put it this way here so they can see you. Before the mosquitoes eat us, we're gonna need to go inside the house.
We're going to
right?
go inside.
Inside the house.
How's
Yes.
the cabin looking? Is it decent? We can go inside.
No, there's my clothes over
Okay,
there.
we're
So
not going to
yeah,
go inside the cabin. We're going to go inside the house.
the house. So there's this introspective hypnosis course in December. And before the class, there's a workshop, the symptoms of the soul. And the workshop is not a class. You know, some people think that it's a class. It's not a class. I share the concept
Yeah.
of soul entrapment, soul fragmentation, and how these symptoms with no logical or medical scientific explanation manifest in our bodies. It could be physical, emotional, and mental, and how those symptoms can have the origin in early childhood, the time in the womb, or even during past lives.
So can you all hear us as Antonio is talking? If someone can just say yes. If you
Yes,
can
let's
hear
go. It's
him.
gonna get dark for a little bit.
It's going to get dark as we're going under the big grandmother tree.
Yep, you see,
Can you hear us?
there's where we were a few minutes ago.
Yes, is that a heart saying yes? Yes. Okay, Antonio, they can hear us. Look at
Yes.
that beautiful sunset in the background.
Yep,
But
it's
we're
right
gonna
there.
we're gonna go inside because
Even if it's a patio alpha, if you turn on the lights,
yes, we're gonna,
away from the mosquito,
we're gonna go
mosquitoes.
where there's no mosquitoes. They are
Wow, this is
really
wild.
coming out in force right now.
Okay, hold on, guys, one moment.
Real quick. Okay, we're gonna turn on some lights so we can talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go. Okay, Whew.
I think
We had a few.
we brought some with us.
All right, so we're talking about the classes, introspective hypnosis class and the workshop. What else is coming? For those that took introspective hypnosis or
You have like
the
20
mosquito.
mosquitoes on top of
Yeah.
you. All right, we're gonna take this inside, okay?
Yeah.
So let's go inside.
Let's go inside.
They were attacking us.
They say that they attack the younger blood first. So,
Okay, here we go.
all right, here we go. So, let's put yourself this way.
Okay.
All right. So, What else do we have? For those that took introspective hypnosis, or um, if you're a practitioner, right? If you already practice, I don't know, any other modality, if you already have some experience, I have the past life therapy course, which is in 2 modules. And I have module 1 in January next year,
Yeah.
obviously. And I have module 2 in April. That's an intensive course. People find it to be, they feel it's more advanced,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
okay, right? And it's in 2 modules. First module is 6 days. Second module is 5 days. So that's
Yeah.
January and April. What do we have in May? In May,
We're going back to Marriottsville, Maryland, and I'm going to be accompanying him in his class. It's going to be a
Yes.
retreat, 7 days, 6 nights in a beautiful conference center. You could see some of the videos online. Sorry, I still have some mosquitoes on me.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful experience. We're already getting a lot of rooms booked up, so you have to, if you're thinking about this, book it quickly, because last time we had people without rooms that wanted to take the class, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden there's no rooms. So if you're thinking of taking the class, it's really good, and you get to spend from 8 in the morning with us having
Yeah.
breakfast all the way to the evening hours doing activities after class,
Yes.
and actually doing some sessions. So if you go to the class, you might get a session done on you. So definitely think about that.
Good. Why do you explain what is it? Why is this different? Because we're calling it class or course slash retreat. Why is it different? What did people experience last time we did this in
Well,
September?
it was beautiful. First of all, you get to meet people in person,
Yeah,
and this is something.
behind you. That's why the
Yes,
camera
and
works
if you
better
find
for me.
any mosquitoes, just slap it.
Yeah.
It's a different experience because we spend the whole day together. We start with breakfast. They have a buffet breakfast, which is always great, yummy. Then we start class. You get to meet each other. Hey, Dr. Julie, I want to hear about your book. So anyway, we get to spend the whole day together doing exercises with each other. You're actually paired up with each other doing these
Yeah.
exercises. We have lunch together. And then after lunch, we do more training. And again, doing exercises together. And then you're going to have dinner with us. And then
Yes.
after dinner, we do more activities. And we do some sessions so that you experience what you've been learning about.
Yeah.
And then we do some other things, meditations, other activities. And it's really a beautiful experience because you really get bonded.
So you can say that we're busy from kind of 9 to 9.
Yeah, it's like a
Basically,
12-hour day.
yeah, we do have our breaks. We have a lunch and dinner, but we're busy. We're
Yes.
busy learning, and we're busy doing demos and having
Yeah.
experiences with Alba, with the meditations.
Yes,
And
that's
I
it.
don't know if you guys watch the videos. Alba, you brought your headsets, right?
Yeah, I have my silent sound headsets, which means that we could sit outside, we could sit anywhere and actually transmit from long distance. So
Yeah.
we do regressions, we do meeting deceased relatives, we do tuning fork and chakra balancing, and we do that with everybody. So
Right.
it's really a nice time together. And I'm only doing one with Antonio a year. So
Right.
if you want to meet me and you want to see how I do my work, come join us.
Yeah, when we chose Bone Secures for this, is a perfect place for this type of activity. We also choosing the perfect time of the year, right?
Yeah.
We're doing this May
29th, which is Memorial Day
Memorial
weekend.
Day weekend. So
Yes.
it's a perfect time of the year. Last
Mm-hmm.
time we did it in September, but we're gonna do this just once a year. Live class once a year, both of us.
Yes.
And that's it for now. I mean,
Yeah.
we still, if you're interested about Peru, we're still thinking about, well, when I say we, it's not Alba, not Blair, it's just me and other people going to Peru, to Cusco. Call it the
Hold
rebirth
on.
of,
We got a second one here.
okay.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
They just ended my
Your Facebook Live?
Yes, let's do another one.
Okay.
Hold on. Facebook just ended my.
Yeah, let's wait. And there you are.
Okay, round two. So
Okay.
yeah, so we were talking about Antonio has scheduled to do a tour of Cusco.
Cusco, right?
So if you're
Cusco. So it's an
interested,
8 day.
contact him. I will not be going on that, but don't miss
Yeah.
out on something like that. Here's something that we want to throw out to you. I don't know if anybody's watching right now, but
It's gonna be recorded anyway.
yes, but if anybody's watching, we want you to give us some feedback. We're thinking of doing a retreat,
Not a course,
not a course,
just a retreat.
not a class, a retreat, and we're wanting to know if you would be interested in coming to a retreat with us, and we would then be doing some of the hypnosis, correct?
Yes. Why don't we? You know what? Why don't we have a sit? Alba. It's my arm.
Okay, sit
It's
over
already
here.
numb.
Okay, I'm gonna just
Okay.
kneel down here as I battle all of the mosquitoes.
Okay.
So we want to know if you would be interested. We brought all these mosquitoes in,
Yes.
by the way.
No problem.
If you would be interested in doing a retreat with us, give us a thumbs up or give us some. Thank you. I don't know which one did that, but thank you. That way we can actually spend more time doing some work together.
Right. And the idea is again, is not a class, but just gotta be therapy involved.
Yes.
So it's to work on ourselves, and at the same time that we work on ourselves, you're actually learning something
Yes.
new. You're learning how to
Yeah.
help yourself in future occasions and situations. Right?
Yes. Yes.
So it's kind of the thing that we do in a session,
Yes.
but with how can I explain this? But without having a session. Yeah, but the idea is that you also get sessions.
Get
So
a therapy out of it.
yeah, therapy
Yes.
and we can do the demos. When I say demos, actually we can get people from the audience, right?
Yes.
It's gonna be a small group, and whenever we feel like okay, it's time to deal with whatever you have to deal,
Yeah.
we jump and go ahead and do a session right there and then
Yeah.
in front of everybody.
So somebody said, I missed what was said, was breaking up. So what we're saying is we're thinking of doing a retreat. So wanting to know if anyone would be interested in
Yeah.
doing that, and we would be doing some therapy on that also. So it would not be a class.
Mosquitoes.
That was a
Mosquitoes.
mistake going out there and,
Oh, wow, yeah.
and getting with all those, what happened?
What happened here? Let's see. Welcome live chat. Okay.
Okay, we got live chat. Antonio is doing this at the same time on YouTube.
I'm
on
doing
his-
YouTube live for the first time, so I'm
Yes.
sorry. This is new to me.
And you know, this is really funny, Antonio. I was thinking about this the other day. Look at me in this screen and look at me in that screen. And this one looks
the lens.
this one looks younger. I actually look younger on Facebook Live than I do on YouTube
Yeah.
Live. So Facebook must have some sort of algorithm to make you look younger. Anyway, this
Let's
is,
see.
let's see if we have any comments.
Yeah.
Mary Gale says, wonderful.
Yes. Hello. So we have. Let me see. Carita and Fernhurst. So thank you
So-
and welcome.
So do
Yes.
you have any questions for us? If anybody has any questions, go ahead and ask us questions. This is a great opportunity. We're both here
Yeah.
today.
I was telling Alba, right? This is a record because we have seen each other this year 3 times.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's
the last time I
amazing.
came here to her oasis, right, her property, and in September when we did the class, and
Yes.
now coming back from visiting my mom in Miami, I stopped here.
Okay.
So
Look, somebody says Facebook feed was too bumpy. It's better over here on YouTube.
It's better on YouTube.
Victor says that. So
Okay.
you can see us also at the same time on Antonio Sanjo's introspective hypnosis Is that
Right. You go to youtube.com/Antonio Sangio, Sangio.
Yes. Now, someone says, I signed up to study with Antonio for December, can't make the trip to the States. And that's exactly why
Yes.
he has these classes online. A lot of
Yes.
people cannot travel. And so this is a great opportunity to learn this amazing technique. Antonio teaches from the beginning to everything you need for that. Shaima says, where will the retreat be held? I'm sorry, service is bad here. We don't know yet. We're just talking about it. We're just throwing this out there to see what sticks, to see if you will all be interested.
Yeah, and Anderson here, I bought your book, The Symptoms of the Soul. Thank you for buying the book. I hope that you found it interesting.
Yes.
I'm sharing a lot of information on cases there.
Yes. And for those who follow me and they're wondering, I get a lot of strange comments on my YouTube feed, and lately a lot of people have been saying, why do you, it's almost like I torture them in my sessions. Why do you make them relive the burning, the stabbing,
I
the
got
death?
the same comment.
And so, Antonio, would you explain why it is that we have to take them through these deaths?
Yeah, well, let me start by saying that for my last sessions, I have not been able to share as many sessions as I would have liked to do, and it's because since I learned past life therapy, my technique changed again.
And mine did too.
Right. So yes, I'm still doing introspective hypnosis, but introspective hypnosis has now some elements or techniques of past life therapy.
Yes.
When you book a session with me, it doesn't matter which technique you choose, really, because all of them are here. As my teacher, Jose Luis Cabuli, said to me once, Antonio, in the end, you become the technique. So it doesn't matter what you choose. So anyway, going back to what you were saying, in past life therapy, we deal with a lot of symptoms, as well as in introspective hypnosis, but I would say that we go deeper into symptoms, deeper into traumatic events.
Yeah.
And in order to desensitize any trauma, clients need to experience it up to a certain degree. It's not me saying it. Michael Newton also said it in his book, if I'm not mistaken, was Life Between Lives. And what I learned from Jose Luis Cabuli, my teacher, is like, in order to end soul entrapment, the reason why you're having this unexplained symptom, this symptom that has no no scientific or medical explanation, is because the soul doesn't understand time. And because the soul doesn't understand time, whatever happened to us in another body, we call it in past lives, for our soul that just happened, right? If we had a traumatic death, let's say that in Egypt you were buried alive, 3,000 years ago, it's not only that for your soul that just took place, for your soul that's still happening.
Right.
Your soul is trapped in that event. It's a traumatic event, and this is the reason why we feel the symptoms now when we get on a train, on a plane, on the subway.
Yeah. And there's no explanation.
There's no explanation.
You'll get on an elevator and you start to freak out and you have no idea why you're hyperventilating.
So the way to end the entrapment is to actually help the clients relive the event. But yeah, you might see them like they're not dying in front of you again. They're going through this with their mind.
Yeah.
But as they're going through this process, we're asking the necessary questions. We're helping them through the process to end the entrapment. Once the entrapment ends, the symptom disappears, right?
Yeah. There's a question there. Does this balance or kill your karma in this life? We're not talking about karma.
No.
We're talking about soul entrapment.
Yes. So karma is different. Some people, I'm still trying to kill the mosquitoes here. Some people think that karma is a punishment, right? And I see karma as the law of balance. What does that mean? That whatever we made others feel, we're going to experience. We're going to have to experience ourselves up to a certain degree anyway. Mm-hmm. So if you kill somebody, somebody's going to kill you. If you rape somebody, and this happens in my sessions, it's very frequent when you have someone that was molested several times in their lives, or maybe raped a few times.
Yes.
And they're in this victim mentality. One thing that I learned again from Kabuli was that every victim has been a perpetrator before. We just need
Yes.
to go back in time and find out what happened, right?
We've been it all. We've been
Yeah,
all of it.
and I have people that were molested several times in these lives, and they felt victims when we took them to the origin, to the event that originated all of those
Yeah.
things in this life. They were the rapists,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So that's karma. So it's not if punishment is the law of balance.
It's not the same. So it's not negative karma. It is your soul is entrapped in that experience and you are feeling symptoms. And, you know, the symptoms could be triggered by you perhaps, you know, maybe meeting someone that was the person who killed you in another life. Maybe you start a new job and all of a sudden you get this boss and this boss is making you crazy and maybe you start breaking out in a rash. I'm just making this up. You start breaking out in a rash and you have no idea why when you started working here, you have this rash. Well, that's a symptom and nobody can figure out what it was. Perhaps that person who was your boss in a different life may have burned you alive. Who knows? And all of a sudden you meet him and your soul recognizes it and it starts to bring out the symptoms. So how would you know until you go into a session like this? So we have techniques. Antonio and I have both trained with Dr. Jose Luis Kabuli, who is a master at this technique. He doesn't even call it hypnosis.
There's no induction.
There's no induction.
Really.
We go straight to the problem and we work through it. Now, I do not show all of the techniques that we do. There is like a recipe to work through a problem like that, and I do cut out these techniques out of my videos. So does Antonio. This is something that you have to be trained to do. You just don't dive in there and do this on your own. So that's why Antonio is now doing this training.
Right. There's a question. There's a comment here, and thank you for the comment because I think it's important
read
to
the comments so
talk
everybody
about
knows.
this. Is tiny, but it says here, cost of a session is $500. Says not my sessions. My sessions are $300, but there are shorter sessions, right?
Yeah.
They might be referring to your session.
Yeah.
But you spend 4 hours with
I
people.
spend about 4
2
hours with
right?
people, yeah.
So cost of the session is $500, and this is overpriced for service that is meant to help people. Let me put it this way, right? I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I don't pretend to be one. But if you need brain surgery, right, and you go to a specialist, they're not going to charge you $100. You're paying for, not for whatever he wants to charge you. That doctor, that surgeon, that neurosurgeon that is going to operate that tumor in your brain, spend years and hours of studying, training, spend a lot of money in getting that experience. That you can go to other type of doctors is true. So money is energy, really.
Yeah.
If you feel like this is overpriced, again, this is not my price, by the way, but if you feel this is overpriced, you have other people that can provide the same kind of service. You don't have to go to you don't have to go to Alba. You don't have to come to me.
Yeah.
Now, some people might say, okay, I want to go out with my girlfriend, and they take the girlfriend to McDonald's. You know, you spend $20 and you have a good time. Some other people say, no, I want to go to a place that is more specialized for this, and let me go to a casino. Some others take cruises and they spend
thousands.
$4,500, you know, for 5 days, you know, and nobody complains to the cruise company saying you guys are overpriced for what you're offering, you know. And what is the cruise company going to tell you? You have other options.
Exactly.
People, you need to find the practitioners that you resonate with.
Exactly.
You know, if it's true, not everything is about money, but in order for us to get the training, we had to spend money and time.
Thousands. This is, you know, we have both been trained. We both have a few techniques that are similar. We have separate ones, but we have thousands of sessions under our belt. We
Yeah.
have a lot of experience. Not all of my sessions are online, so you only see like 500. I've done much more than 500 sessions. So you are paying for our time and for our expertise.
And I was told many times, right? This is a comment they made to me, Antonio. What you have is a gift. I don't consider it to be a gift. It's knowledge.
Yeah.
But they say, oh, it's a gift, and you should offer it. If you offer it for free to people, to help people, okay? Well, let me put it this way: which is your gift? Let's say that your gift is cooking good meals. You're a really good cook.
Yeah.
Then you should cook for me for free. If you sew, then you should sew for me for free. If you're a really good teacher, hey, teach me for free because that's your gift.
Yeah.
The fact that you become, I don't want to say good about doing something, or people say this is your gift, doesn't mean that you need to do it for free. Because why?
Yeah.
I still need to pay a mortgage. I
Yeah.
still need to pay for my car and gas, my internet. I need to pay for the
Yeah.
trips to go and do whatever I have to do.
This is our job.
So people get confused,
Yeah.
and they ask for free stuff, but they are not willing to give. They are not willing to give stuff for free themselves.
Okay, so someone writes here, what about paying half, then the other half when you start the service? That will help for whoever asks this question. Maybe you guys can do that. Well, I ask for a deposit when you book the session, and then the rest of the money the week before. That's how I do it. I think that's fair. That gives you a few weeks to pay for it. I don't ask for payment after the session because everything is paid in advance, just like other services. You pay for your when you go up to McDonald's, you pay for your service before you eat the meal.
Right.
So anyway, there's another thing that says, had a session with Alba on YouTube where I was very emotional and cry. I know that others have watched and cried along. Not sure why people feel we are suffering. We are processing, releasing, and integrating. Thank you very much for that comment. Yes, that's what's happening.
That's well explained.
And I'm going to tell you something. As soon as I go into hypnosis, I cry like a baby. I don't care if anything is happening or not. As soon as I start to connect with feelings, I just start to cry. That's just the way it is. So it's not like we're suffering. It's that you're releasing all of this emotion.
So for somebody that doesn't understand what we're doing in a session, they might think that we're making the person suffer. As somebody put in one of my comments lately, it's like, why don't you have mercy on your clients? Why do you make them suffer again? We're not doing that, really. We're allowing them to relieve the event and release. We allow them to do whatever they were not able to do at that moment. If they were victims, if they had a traumatic death, or it was a rape or molestation, whatever, we're allowing them to release that emotion, which is, once you do that, you end the entrapment, soul entrapment, and the symptom disappears. Of course, so this is what happened with me, and I'm sure it happened to you as well.
Okay.
We first learned from Dolores Cannon, right?
We first started with Dolores Cannon with QHHT. That's how we both met. We met in level 2 class.
Right.
And that's how our friendship began.
Right. So Dolores trained us to disconnect the client from any traumatic events. Don't allow them to feel uncomfortable. Don't allow them to feel anything. Disconnect them. And I would say that it worked. For some of the clients, that way of doing things worked. But then I learned from Aurelio Mejia.
Yes.
What I call now introspective hypnosis. I also learned from the Newton Institute, but the Newton Institute, life between lives, but there's no therapy. You don't go through traumatic events with that technique.
You go through sad memories.
Not with life between lives.
Oh, life between lives. I'm talking about
Aurelio.
Aurelio.
Then I learned from Kabuli, and then I actually attended one of his workshops, and I saw him working for the first time. People had made comments about his technique, and I was amazed. Seeing what he was doing. He was allowing people to relieve the experience, but I saw how they felt after the session.
Yeah.
So when I decided to take the class and I started practicing with my clients, I was kind of still I don't know if I should do it or not. Let me try it.
Yeah.
There's one of my videos there. You're gonna see if you go through my YouTube videos, you'll see one woman standing in front of my recliner. I don't remember the number of the session. But she has issues. She had issues with her back, and she
Very
had
painful.
issues walking. She
Yeah.
had pain in her back.
Yeah.
When we were in the session, the origin of that pain, of that issue, started in a past life where she was pushed from a balcony
Yeah.
and she died, right?
Yeah.
So in a session, you'll see there in the session.
Watch that video. Do you know?
Yeah,
do you know
I don't remember the video number, but you're gonna see her standing. She's gonna be standing. There are two videos, one of the session and one just with the testimonial. She's standing there in front of my recliner, and this is like a couple of years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
So as I allowed her to relive the experience, as I was doing what we call the abreaction, allowing her to go through the experience.
To feel it.
When we ended the session, you could see there that she's smiling. She's not in pain. She's smiling when we finished the session.
Yeah.
And then I turned off the camera. The session was done. Thank you. I was telling her thank you very much. And then when she got up from the recliner, she noticed something different, and she was happy. She had no pain. So I turned on the camera again, and I started recording. She gave me the testimonial right there and then. The pain was gone.
Yeah.
So to me, that proved that doing the session that way, it was actually helping my clients.
Yeah.
And from then on, this is what I use. This is what I do. It's not that I'm killing my clients. They are not suffering. They are not in pain. Everything is, they're doing this with their mind.
And I've experienced myself, and I've talked about this before, that I had excruciating pain in my butt. It was in my glute. I couldn't figure out how I can fix this. I was going to the chiropractor every week. And when I moved to this house, it got even worse. And so when I was in class, Dr. Kabuli's class, I relived the experience where I was shot by Spanish soldiers, those little round bullets, right in that place. I jumped up in the bed for about 6 inches, and I kind of relived that, and I realized that that's what was happening, that this was a lifetime here in this area where I was a Native American and I got shot, and I cursed the land, and I cursed the soldiers that were here. So we had to work on that curse, and we had to release that from my life.
Yeah, what you're saying is important. So what happened is that what you're saying is that when you moved here, you were triggered.
I was triggered.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you had an issue, let's say the soul entrapment in a past life, right? Who brings the symptom, who brings the trauma is not the body, it's not the mind, it's the soul.
It's the soul.
So the soul comes to this new body, right? And when the soul experiences something similar to what it experienced in that past life, the symptom, the physical, mental, or emotional symptom is going to trigger.
Yeah. And just what he's saying, that's why sometimes you need other sessions, because when you come to a session, you may be working on something that's triggering you now, and all of a sudden life happens and you're triggered again with something else. So you'll go to a totally different experience, and that experience could be triggered from this lifetime or any other lifetime.
Right.
So this is the kind of work that we're doing now. It's very, very powerful. And so those of you who are actually doing hypnosis, whether you're doing just any type of hypnosis that you're doing, and you already know how to do this, Antonio is offering this class, past life therapy class, which will take you to this other level. It is like learning to be a surgeon, to go right
to the point.
And I like to use this analogy. It's almost like, when you have a pimple and it's getting bigger and bigger, what we do is we squeeze that pimple and we get everything that's out of it. And it may be painful to watch as someone's going, and you're squeezing it out of it, and then go, oh my God, that feels so wonderful. So that is what we're doing in a session. That's why we don't post the part, and
because people
don't understand it, and we'll get really nasty posts saying that we're traumatizing.
Yeah, and not every session is like that either. There's people that have the symptoms that generated maybe in the womb, maybe in childhood, and it was maybe nothing painful physically, but it was just a decision that the soulmate at that moment, which is triggering the symptom. You
Yes.
know, so there are more comments there.
Yeah, okay, so let's see from Marcella. In my experience, Alba is fairly priced. Okay, thank you, especially for the quality she delivers. As for Antonio, he's out of my reach. He charges $300 for a session, which is less. Since hypnotherapy is not my profession and I'm not willing to spend that much money for a hobby. Well, you know, sometimes people fix cars for a hobby and they help other people. As a matter of fact, I've also been regretting not having the money to afford his seminars, but I respect that this is Antonio's business and he has the right to price them as he finds incentive. Perhaps Antonio can consider creating an online course outlining the basic hypnotherapy techniques for the people who are simply curious to have some introduction to his technique and teaching, and the price is around 500 pounds. I guess that is. I don't know if that's pounds. Why not? If there's a demand for such product that we're capitalizing on his brand and knowledge in a fairly affordable way is a good thing to have as an option. Okay, so Antonio, how would you like to respond to that?
Let me comment about that, right? There is no such a thing as an introduction to a technique. Let me put it this way. When I learned hypnosis, right, I realized within, maybe happened the same thing happened to you. Within the first 4-5 months, I realized that I needed more tools. That there were certain situations that were presenting in my sessions that I didn't know how to handle because I didn't have all the techniques needed to handle let's say every possible situation, right?
Yeah.
That's why I started doing this, not research, but I was craving for more information, more tools, and this is how I learned from Aurelio Mejia, you know. And then after some time, I learned Life Between Lives, even though this is a different technique for a different purpose. And then past life therapy. What I'm trying to say is that there's no such a thing as an introduction, because if I charge you 500 pounds or dollars to give you a little introduction to a technique, whenever you facilitate a session, you're not going to have all the tools that you need.
Right.
It's like saying, right, I want to become a surgeon, but I just want you to show me, you know, I'm going to med school, I cannot afford what med schools charge, but maybe if you do an introduction to surgery, where you just show me how to just get the, what do you call scalpel, right?
Scalpel and open it up.
And open it up and see the blood coming out and take a look at the organs. And yeah, it's true, my client has cancer. Let me stitch it up again because I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
Because I just took the introduction to surgery.
Yeah.
And I will tell that to my clients. That's being irresponsible, I would say. So there's a complaint from people that take my class. And the complaint is too much information. Right? If you're going to complain about my class,
hold on.
You're gonna start a new.
They're
Facebook
doing it
Live.
again.
Let's wait for Alba to start.
Hold on. For those of you on
Right there. Okay, you started. Okay.
Okay, so this is part 3.
Part 3. So they will say this is too much information, and I tell them you might feel overwhelmed at this moment, but in 3 or 4 months you will realize that you have all the tools that you need.
Yes.
You know, some people were saying at the beginning, Antonio, you're charging too little. When I had the old price, you're charging too little for what you're teaching. You know?
Yeah.
And we are not only teaching techniques. We're giving you the don'ts,
Yes.
the mistakes that we made.
That's right.
We're giving you the experience. Hold on.
Hold on. Poor connection.
Full connection?
Yeah.
Okay, let's wait for.
Hold on. We're having.
Houston, we have a problem? It's like.
Okay, guys, hang on here because I am.
Go live?
Yeah, go live.
Go live. Okay. 3, 2.
Hold on, let's wait a little bit more. My internet is not really good here.
Okay. So we were saying about the class and people speaking about the price. This is the way I want you to see the courses that I teach.
Yeah.
It's not an introduction. It's not for people that are curious about hypnosis.
No.
It's not for somebody that, oh, I want to try this, see if I like it. If you register for one of these classes, we are going to teach you. We are going to give you all the techniques. Let's wait for you to reconnect.
It seems that we're not.
Yeah.
All right. So,
we're going to give you all the techniques. We're going to give you the do's, the don'ts, the experience. I even have the mentoring group, right? So you get the support that you need as you practice, as you gain experience, you become part of a community. So this is real work.
yeah.
This is not like, oh, let me take a class for typing. I'm going to learn how to type,
Yeah.
or I'm just going to learn Office or Word. We're dealing with the soul. We're helping souls. We're helping people's souls
Yes.
to end their traumas, their entrapment, their symptoms. It would be irresponsible to try to help somebody with just the knowledge of an introduction to whatever you think you want to learn.
Well, let me give you. Well,
Then let's continue
we're gonna
with Facebook
we're gonna
Live.
continue on.
Or go on YouTube. Yeah.
Okay.
Go on YouTube. Alba's having issues with her.
Yeah, we're gonna
Connection.
go live on YouTube. Hold on. Whoops. Create. We may not be able to. Not now.
Okay, let's wait for a moment.
Are you all guys still listening there? Give us some.
We have
Breathe a little bit so we know that
12
you're
people
there.
connected in my channel.
Okay.
Let's
see what this is. We're gonna
connect
go.
there.
Whew. I don't even know if this is live.
Your Wi-Fi is not on. That's why.
Yeah. Well, my Wi-Fi is terrible.
No, but I'm connected to your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
I'm connected.
All right,
to your
guys,
Wi-Fi.
hold on. Let's see if Wi-Fi is better here. Maybe I could just do Facebook Live on Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's wait.
Hold on. Are you guys still there?
Yeah, 12 people connected here.
Okay.
Next, go live. Yeah, the issue was, no, go live.
Okay. All right, hold on for a bit.
Yeah, it was Wi-Fi. All right, so,
Okay, I just switched to my Wi-Fi, but I only have one bar, so this is my problem.
no, Wi-Fi is fine. One
Wi-Fi
bar
is
is from
good?
your cell phone provider. So,
Okay.
so Wi-Fi should be okay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So we were talking about introductions. Someone wanted to know why we couldn't do an introduction.
Right. Imagine you going to a practitioner. You
Yes.
have a symptom. You have, I don't know, whatever problems you have, and you say you need a session, right? And then this person that you're going to, this practitioner says, okay, I do past life regression. But it happens that that person only took an introduction to past life regression. A 5-day course
Yeah.
of an introduction.
Yeah.
Basic price, basic knowledge, basic information to see if people liked it, you know.
Yeah.
And give your soul to that person. Open
Yeah.
your soul to that person to guide you through the session.
Yeah.
You would not believe all the mistakes that that person would
Yeah.
make if that person doesn't have the right information and the right
Yeah.
techniques.
Antonio, I'm going to share a story that happened to me 40 years ago or more. It's about 40 some odd years ago. My sister was taking hypnosis class in an adult education school.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she was just learning she just wanted to know basic hypnosis. So she took a class in the adult education. So she said to me, Alba, I want to try an induction on you and see how this works. And it was a really nice induction. All of a sudden, I saw myself in a past life. What do you look like? I described it to her. Okay, go to the next scene. And all of a sudden, I started bawling my eyes out. I was stuck in a very, very traumatic point in that life in which I was going to be hanged. And I was inconsolable, and she was freaking out because she had no idea what to do next. And I wasn't talking because I was just crying and crying and crying. And she didn't even know how to get me out. She was panicking. And it took me 40 years with that traumatic experience to finally have a session, a Dr. Kabuli past life therapy session, where I went back to that lifetime, found out what happened so I can finally resolve that past life.
So you say your sister had an introduction to hypnosis.
My sister had an introduction to hypnosis,
Right.
and didn't know what to do once I was in this horrific.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a noose around my neck and I was screaming. So when you are doing hypnosis on somebody, you have no idea what's going to happen.
You better be prepared.
You better be prepared, and that's why Antonio's classes gives you all of the tools from this lifetime, from any lifetime. You are talking about traumatic events happening in this life: rape, molestation, kidnapping,
healing the inner child.
Inner child.
Regression to the womb.
Exactly. So these are the things that are taught to you in this class so that you can handle all of these things. If you just go to a very basic past life regression course, and you're thinking that you're going to be visiting your life as a galactic in Mars or Venus, that's not always what happens in a session. All of a sudden, what the soul wants to talk about comes out, and you're stuck saying, yeah, but I was only taught to go to a past life. What do I do now?
Right.
You know, somebody's raping this girl and she's 3 years old. So that's why Antonio is my friend. He's like my brother. I recommend this class because I know the caliber of work that he does. He cares intensely about his clients, and he cares about teaching his students how to be good hypnotists and how to help other people. We have to do it one person at a time. So if you're considering on helping people, let's say you have family members that you want to help. When you go to a class, you have a bunch of classmates now that you can contact them and say, hey, listen, my mom needs a session. Would you do a session for my mom or for my sister? Mm-hmm. And that's how it works, is that you're not going to be doing a session on your family, but they're going to be helping you because they need practice too. So we don't recommend you doing sessions on your family, but we have all of these people who are willing and able to do it, and that's what's the beautiful thing about it. Yeah. Ask us questions, please, so that we can answer you. You're all here listening.
I don't know, Facebook Live still active? Oh,
no, there's a bunch of questions here.
Are we born again to deal again with people in the past life? It depends. It depends. There's something pending to be learned, something that you have not learned. Sometimes we come back. Maybe the relationship could change.
Yes.
We might come back together. Let's see, have either of you had any recent sessions regarding soul entrapment every single day?
Yeah, that's all he does is soul entrapment.
Every single day. So don't get confused by the name past life therapy. When I say past life therapy, the name doesn't give justice to the technique.
No, it's really not past life therapy.
It's not a past life regression.
Do we have any more comments?
Yeah, it's not a past life regression. Let's see. It deals with soul entrapment, soul fragmentation. It deals with traumas. Let's say, what else?
Okay, hold on. We're reading some messages. If you want to type up any comments on Facebook, we appreciate it.
Nick Zen 5-day course with Antonio and Alba. Antonio's course is extremely intensive and was much more affordable. Thank you very much for the comments.
Yes.
So you really thank you both much for your hard work.
Okay. Thank you so much for your hard work, your dedication. For moving humanity forward. You deserve every penny you charge for. Thank you. No apologies required for your focus and love. Please continue. Another one. Can you talk about your teacher, Jose Luis Kabuli?
Yeah, well, you get a lot of information online about him, but he's Dr. Kabuli because he started as a doctor. He was a plastic surgeon, right?
Yes.
And reconstructive surgery.
Yes.
And life took him in a path that he had to make the decision of started doing therapy. He started with past life regression, and over the 30 years he developed the technique called past life therapy. And it's in Spanish. It's called terapia de vidas pasadas.
Yeah, and he only teaches in Spanish. That's why Antonio has been given the his blessing to teach his method.
Yes, thank you. So, does taking QHHT prior to your course assist in a better understanding of the basics of hypnosis? It's two different things, I would say.
Yeah. Well, we're talking a TVP or just introspective hypnosis?
Any. If you compare QHHT with introspective or with past life therapy, I would say it's different. And
yeah.
It would not be appropriate to say anything good or bad. I mean, I'm grateful to Dolores Cannon. I mean, I learned from her how to navigate past lives in the best possible way.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm not going to say anything negative about QHHT. The clients that go to a QHHT session and the clients that go to a past life therapy session or an introspective hypnosis sessions are different. They're looking, the motivation is different.
Well, when you go to a QHHT session, you go with a bunch of questions for your higher self, as Dolores calls the subconscious. When you come to a session that we're doing, you don't come with questions, you come with issues and symptoms, and that's a different focus. And about learning this technique, I would say the same thing that Dolores Cannon used to say about hypnotherapists. She didn't like hypnotherapists in her class because she said that they had to undo all of the learning to learn that. And we would say it's the same with any other technique. Yeah. Even when we were taking Jose Luis Kabuli's class, we had to undo what we were doing for so long. It was very, very
difficult.
It's very difficult when you're doing sessions a certain way and someone says, no, don't do that anymore. And it's like, oh my God. Right. So when you come to an introspective hypnosis class and you've already been doing a certain type of technique, the questions are forever, and it's different. It's very different. Antonio's, what he says at the beginning of class is the higher self is on vacation this week because we do roll up your sleeves and work with the client.
Yeah, he has a more, the practitioner has a more proactive role in this session. Anyway, there's another question. I guess for both of us, right? Has your work changed you? I mean, each of us as people, have you grown? I'm not the same person I was when I started in 2013. Not the same person.
No, I am totally different. If you watched my sessions, you could see that I've changed. I am so much more patient. I am so much more nurturing. I am so much more at peace with myself. I understand life a lot more. Each client has taught me about myself.
Yeah.
That's really what you're learning, is you're learning about yourself, and you're healing while they're healing. You're helping them heal, but at the same time, you're healing.
This is a two-way street. You know,
Yes.
we facilitate a session and we help our client, but through their experience, we learn and we heal as well.
Yes.
Some of us get triggered. You know, when we were starting in this, we used to get triggered by the events that our clients were going through in a session.
Yeah.
And we realized that we needed to work on that because there was something in us that needed to heal as well.
Yeah. And I'll give you an example. For example, let's say that as a child you were molested. There's a lot of people, male and female, who have been molested when they were children.
And they don't remember.
They don't remember because it's blocked. And all of a sudden you get a session as a practitioner where that person is being molested. It's going to trigger you. So that's something that as you're helping them heal with the techniques, you're actually helping yourself, work through that too. Because as you're talking, your subconscious mind is also being healed.
What else did we learn? We learned about, of course, compassion, patience, empathy.
Yep.
You know.
See if there's more. Okay.
That's it. That's all my questions.
Okay. Here's another one here. I've learned so much from your session. It's got me to a happy place in life. Are you still doing online sessions? I guess you're talking to me, to Alba.
Yes.
Yes, I am doing some online sessions this month. I was not, because if you've noticed, my internet went down like 4 times while I'm doing this transmission, and that's not the kind of stuff I want to be dealing with when I'm doing a session. So when I'm having online sessions, I want to make sure that my internet is working and it's up.
Yeah.
And I have been having a lot of trouble with my Starlink. It's been going down. It was down for like 2 weeks at one time. So I didn't have any online sessions. I will be having some for December. So I will be offering a few, very few, because I'm going to be taking some time off. But yes, I am still doing online sessions, but most of them are here in my home in Micanopy, Florida. So thank you for the question. What was your favorite regression? I don't know. Do you have a favorite one?
I have one that I'm going to keep with me until and the day this body dies, because the soul never dies. Session number, watch session number 10 in my channel. That's Elsa.
Yeah.
Let me give you the story about that session. I was already practicing QHST. We started in 2013, right? In, QHST level 1, then I did a level 2, and then I was able to host Aurelio Mejia, my teacher, in my house. We went to Charlotte, and when he advertised that he was coming to Charlotte, he was going to Charlotte. A lot of people booked sessions with him, and I was able to shadow him for 38 sessions in 6 days.
The guy is
A machine.
amazing. He's a machine. He
Machine.
knocks those sessions out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of learning with him, right? He was not teaching classes back then. The only way I learned was by shadowing, and I already had the QHST experience. He left, he was left on a weekend, and next weekend, somebody that had been watching his videos where he was introducing me into the community, booked a session with me, and they came to have a session with me. That's session number 10. Session number 10 was my first solo encounter with lost souls, with spirit attachments.
And it was amazing.
There were 3 of them in that session. I speak about that session in my book, and because of that session, I understood my soul's purpose. I understood what I came here to do. From that session on, I did a retrospection, and then how did I get here, and how did I end up helping this lost soul give a message to who was his wife in a previous life to finally go to the light. So that's a session that I'm going to keep with me forever.
Yeah. I have a lot of them, but I don't have them off the top of my head, so I can't answer that. How would you imagine the retreat be conducted, and what type of space do you feel would be most suitable for this type of gathering? Well, I'd love to have one here at my home, but we'll see. We don't really, we were just throwing this idea out.
Hold on, I missed the question, sorry.
The question is how would you imagine the retreat be conducted, and what type of space do you feel would be most suitable?
I think, Alba, I don't know, but I'm thinking the same setup at Bon Secours, when we can spend the whole day.
Would be great.
We have the room for us the whole day. We can do it outside, we can do it inside.
Yes.
You have accommodations included, the meals, everything was perfect. It was
that
perfect.
was good. I'm gonna just
And we're thinking it could be 3 days and a half.
Yeah.
Right. So
that would be great.
getting there at 3
I'm gonna
in the
stand
afternoon.
up. Oy.
Oh, you wanna bring this?
Yes. Hold on.
Hold on, guys.
Hold on. I need to get off my knees because they're turning into rocks.
Let me move my helmet away so you can.
So
yeah.
Bon Secours in Marriottsville, Maryland is the perfect place for a retreat, and that would be great. I go up there on the auto train, so I got my car, so that'd be great.
So that would be great.
Yeah. Okay,
There's
let's
another
see.
question. Let's see. Please talk a little on the subconscious and the various levels being. Okay, let's see. Various levels being used. Some say that they are working with the subconscious mind.
Superconscious mind.
What's your take on this? Okay, superconscious mind. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you want me to talk now? Okay.
Oh, God.
I like talking about this topic.
You asked for it, guys, so.
This is the way I see it, right? When we say, let me start by saying that when I facilitate the sessions, I do not focus on the mind. Okay, the mind is associated with what? With the brain.
Yeah.
So when the brain dies,
Yeah.
the body dies, the brain dies, the
Yeah.
mind dies, right?
Yeah.
How how is it possible then that we have in our subconscious mind traumas from other bodies, meaning from past lives? How is this possible? The way I see this is that the subconscious mind is not associated to the mind or to the brain, but the subconscious mind is associated to the soul. It goes with the soul from body to body. And I was already understanding the subconscious mind this way when I got I got this confirmation through one of the books of Chico Xavier, a Brazilian medium,
This,
dictated by.
we're going to talk about that.
I'm going to talk about that. Dictated by the spirit of Andre Luis. And he was playing there, and he said something like, if people only knew that the existence of the subconscious mind goes beyond the existence of the physical body, it will be easier for psychologists or therapists to work with people. And it's true, the subconscious mind is a storage of emotions, of traumatic events. Everything is there.
Yeah.
And it's the soul that brings it from body to body to body.
Okay.
So go ahead.
This
Yeah.
book is backwards on the screen, but it says No Solar. And they made a movie about this book called Astral City.
Astral City.
And this explains a lot of what happens after you die. So if you're interested in learning about that, either see the movie Astral City or read this book. This is the first of many of these books. So we're just giving you this information so that you can get more information.
Yeah, Chico Xavier did automatic writing. So he got, this book was dictated to him by the spirit of Andre Luis. This was the first one.
Yes,
but he dictated 12 more.
Yes.
And he has a lot of information. They're in English as well. If you want to learn about this, you can get it on
this is a good
Amazon.
This is a good way of learning about
Right.
what happens after you die.
Right.
So and you learn about the soul.
Right. So going back to the question, right, or the comment about the conscious mind, subconscious or superconscious mind, we just focus on the soul. The soul has all the information that we need to work during the session. I don't focus on the mind. The soul has all the information. The soul is the one that carries the trauma. The soul is the one that carries the sadness. The soul is the one that carries the addictions, right?
Yeah.
An addiction is a distractor that the soul, in this case, the soul uses in order not to deal with a repressed emotion,
Okay.
right?
So let's see what else we have here. Bonjour de France.
From
Thank
France.
You. Well, Antonio's been in France training too. Let's see what else is down there because you're
What
getting a lot of
else?
stuff
No.
on YouTube.
It says good luck and well,
Good.
thank you.
Thank you very much. So this has been much longer than I expected.
Yes.
If you want to see the whole thing, go to Antonio Sanjo's YouTube channel.
Okay,
You'll
close.
see. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Hold on.
you'll have to get closer
let me-
because
let me share this with
my stool doesn't go any closer.
And let me share my chair with you.
Oh, all
Okay.
right. Oh, my old joints and bones. What are the reasons for so much child abuse in this world? Oh, that's a good question. What else?
Okay.
What else is there?
Hold on.
What are they thinking? These people, who do active abuse? How can we deal with these? You know, this has been going on forever. This is not just now.
Now because of technology is that people get to know
Yeah,
about
people
all this
know
stuff.
about this now because of technology, because you're hearing about it, but this has been going on forever.
Yeah.
And, you know, a lot of it is karma too. You know, you're not the victim only in this lifetime. You have been the aggressor in different lifetimes. So sometimes the soul comes to experience what you dished out in another life.
Yeah, and one more thing is that in our lives we play three roles. We're victims, we're perpetrators, and we're observers, and we are affected by all of them, right?
Yeah.
But remember, and I say remember, like I assume that you know already. We choose our bodies before we're born. We choose our lessons. We make contracts. We understand the karma that we need to go through. We choose our parents for specific reasons. If you read about Michael Newton, his book Life Between Lives, or Destiny of Souls, right?
Yeah.
He speaks there about other soul groups and how we interact with other soul groups in which our parents are. Because our parents are not part of our soul group. They belong to other soul groups. But he said that we interact with those soul groups in order to work with karma, right? And this is why a lot of the stuff that our clients bring to sessions, a lot of these issues, traumatic events, come from when? From where? Childhood.
Yeah.
Because at this moment we're just observers. We are at the mercy of anything that could be done to us.
Yeah.
But again, we chose those parents for a reason.
Yeah.
We chose those lessons. So if you see it through the human eye, you can say this person is good, this person is bad, this is a rapist, that guy has been molesting this woman. Yes. But in the spirit world, there is no good, there is no bad. There are spirits more evolved than others.
Yeah.
But everything is learning. It is difficult to understand. And sometimes, as my clients go through different events in their sessions, it becomes difficult for me to understand sometimes.
Yeah.
I question that. Why? So Antonio, the human being, says, why do we need to go through much suffering in the name of spiritual evolution, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what I think or what I believe.
Yeah.
It is my clients in a session going to the spirit world saying, I chose that lesson. Yeah. Or I was the rapist, and now it was my turn to experience what I did to others.
Right.
Doesn't matter what I think about it. So, yeah.
Okay.
There's a mosquito here.
Oh, there's still mosquitoes. Anything else?
No, that's it.
How's your work changed? Let me just make sure. On YouTube, we're getting a lot more questions, so thank you very much. How much is the class for experienced hypnotists? You can go to Antonio's website, AntonioSandro.com. Go to the courses
and check past life therapy, and the cost that shows there in past life therapy is for the 2 modules. You pay for the 2. I mean, it's one class. I just teach a class in 2 modules. Why? Because in the first module, I'm following exactly the same structure that Jose Luis Cabuli follows when it comes to the material, right?
Yeah.
In the first module, you're going to learn the structure of the session, and at the end of that module, you're going to be facilitating sessions. Mm-hmm. But then I give you 2 or 3 months in between so that you can practice, so that you get the experience.
Yeah.
So by the time we do module 2, you're going to get a lot more information, and you will be able to do more. So you're paying for 1 class, but I teach the class in 2 modules.
And I'll tell you my own experience, because I took Dr. Kabuli's class, and we did it in 3 modules. And the first time I took the class, I was kicking and screaming. I didn't want to do this type of work because it was so brutal. I felt that it was really tough to do, to have to do this stuff. I started, with module 2, I said, oh my God, this is really fantastic work. I'm really learning a lot. I'm going to start practicing this. And I wasn't showing this type of work on YouTube because I didn't feel you guys were ready for it. And then I just started doing more. And when I went to module 3, I could really see a difference between me, who had been practicing, and those who had not practiced at all.
Get closer here.
We have 2 different cameras going out.
Yes.
So it really is important to practice what you learn. A lot of people are just constant students. They want to just keep learning.
Finding excuses in order not to start practicing.
Right, and they'll say, oh, well, I just don't have all the tools yet. I really don't know enough to start practicing. Listen, if you don't start practicing, you're going to forget everything. And in class, when I'm with Antonio, I say, listen, when I go on vacation for 2 weeks and I have my first client again, it's like
you go to the gym for a few months and then you stop for 3 months, go to the gym again, and it hurts, right?
It hurts.
Uncomfortable. It's the same thing.
It's like, oh my God, am I going to remember how to do anything? Even 2 weeks. So for those people who are just learning this and don't want to practice, oh my God, you have to be in practice. When we do this hypnosis, and this is with anybody who does any profession over and over again. It's almost like breathing. You don't even think about it. You don't think about when you breathe. So when we're doing this work and we practice and practice and practice, it's not like we have a cheat sheet to tell us, if this happens, then do this. It's not like when you call a 911 and they have those sheets, like if they say this,
They have scripts. Yeah.
they have a script. We don't have the script. We just are, we're on the edge of our seats and we are doing everything. And the only way we do that is with practice. And in class, we talk about this, how, when we first started doing hypnosis, it was hard because, we would feel like failures. Sometimes we wouldn't get results that we wanted. We were nervous, and then we'd call each other up and say, okay, we're going to give up. I'm going to give up. This is, I don't want to do this anymore. And, Antonio would say, okay, Alba, this is just a bad time. Just, don't use that session as to quit. Just keep going. And then he would call me.
I would do the same.
He would call me and say, oh, no, I had a terrible one. And I still have sessions in which I do not feel that I got the outcome that I wanted. Either the client was very resistant, didn't want to dive into the emotions, and, they kind of leave, and I'm like, oh, that was not the kind of session I would have liked to have given that client, but I did my best. And that's like in the 4 agreements, and always do your best. And I do my best. Sometimes my best isn't what the client wanted. And I'm sorry, but we all have those days, but I don't kick myself and try to quit.
Once you practice for some time and you get experience and that because he has worked so many times before in the session, that it's not you. When a session doesn't work, it's not you. Same technique with everybody.
Yeah.
What's different is the client. Some people are afraid, they don't want to, maybe they're not ready to open up and deal with these emotions, these sad memories. Some people maybe bring their own script. They think that their session is going to go one specific way. And it doesn't work that way.
A lot of people will come to a session and they'll basically say, no, I just want to go to a past life. I want to see what I was in another time. I want to see where I want to meet my soul group. I want to talk to my higher self. And all of a sudden, you're in the middle of a horrific, situation from your childhood, and they're like, I don't want to deal with that. I've already dealt with that. I don't want to visit that.
And that's the conscious mind talking, because your soul knows that is the event that you need to heal.
Right.
But we all have free will, so they can try to control the self and say, no, I don't want to do that.
So they'll say, no, I don't want to do this. I didn't come here for this. I didn't pay you for this. I want to ask questions of my higher self, not deal with issues about my parents. I tell my clients, I'm a hypnotherapist. So,
and speaking of that, there is a question, right? How would you define what hypnosis is? Just curious how you would define it. Well, number one, hypnosis is an altered state of consciousness. You're conscious, right? You're aware, but what happened at that moment is you're tapping into what you have in your subconscious mind. As I said, even though we're calling the subconscious mind using the word mind, I was explaining that the subconscious goes with the soul. Right? You're tapping into the soul, and all those memories and all the information is stored in the soul. But once you have somebody, anybody can put people in a trance. You learn hypnosis, you put people in a trance. Could be stage hypnosis, could be stop smoking or whatever. But once you put somebody in a trance, then you better know what you're doing, because what comes after that, not everybody can, if you don't have the right knowledge or the information.
The key word is therapist.
Yeah, of course. So if some people contact me saying, Antonio, I just want to do a past life regression because I'm curious, my answer would be no. Yes, no. I learned that already. Every time somebody goes to a past life, it is for a reason. There's something in that past life they need to understand. The way I see it, I might be wrong, this is my perception, is that we're allowed to visit past lives. Maybe our guide, who knows, We're allowed to visit past lives to understand why that event in that past life, in that other body, or how that is affecting us now.
Yeah.
you know. And why am I saying we get permission? Because when I learned the technique live between lives, and I started facilitating those type of sessions, I was able to see how spirit guides blocked my clients
Yeah.
not to enter the spirit world because they were not ready to receive the information because it was going to ruin the lesson they were going through,
Yeah.
or they were able to get to the spirit world but they were not able to visit certain, Michael Newton would call it stations, because visiting that station or reviewing, let's say, the book of their lives in the library or the Akashic records will give them understanding, some understanding that would ruin the lesson they were going through.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see, so if you go to a past life, it's because they're being allowed,
There's
because
something
we're
there.
given
Yeah.
permission, but it's something that we need to understand. So, in other words, even if it's past life, there's always therapy.
Yeah.
There's always therapy.
And how does hypnosis feel? Hypnosis is not sleep. You are wide awake. You're hearing everything. What I tell my clients is like focus. It's you're super focused. You are focusing on your hypnotist's voice. You are focused on your own voice, and you are focused on your imagination. And a lot of people, a lot of hypnotists, certain techniques say, well, that's wrong. We tell them never to think about their imagination. Well, how else do you paint a picture in your mind? You use your imagination. So that's what it feels like. So I have some people on Facebook saying, come to Ontario, Canada, come to Vancouver. No, I'm not traveling anymore. Okay, that's over. If you
I tried to convince her, but
no, if you want a session with me, you're either going to come to Micanopy, Florida, or you're going to go online with me. I'm not traveling anymore. I am in a beautiful oasis paradise here in my home. I don't want to leave my home. And Antonio, you have been here twice.
twice.
Do you understand why I don't
Yes, I
want to leave?
understand. I agree. Yes.
So when you come to my home, this is
Except for the mosquitoes.
Except, all right, well, the
You know,
mosquitoes
but
were,
everything else
we
is
came
great.
out at their dinner time, so we can't fault them for that. So no, I'm not traveling. I did a lot of traveling. I was sending my vibes all over the world, and I've stopped traveling until it's time for me to travel again.
Okay.
But I'm not doing sessions around the world. That part of me is over.
We have technology now. Even my teachers, Jose Luis Cabuli and Aurelio Mejia, who never thought they were going to facilitate sessions online. This is what they're doing now.
Yeah, yeah.
Because of the pandemic, they were forced to start doing it, and they love it.
Yeah,
You know,
and
they
I want
love
to
it.
thank those of you who are on Antonio Sanjo's YouTube doing live. Thank you for sticking with us for so long. I really appreciate it.
Yes, we need to say goodbye. It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, Antonio has to go to sleep. I would love a session with me working on manifesting one. Okay, we have whatever. Let me let me read these before. How has the work shaped your personal views for the future of humanity? I'm personally very much at peace with the world because I know there is no death. So, you know, whatever happens is fine with me. It is what it is.
And this is a school, and regardless of what happens,
Yes.
the souls keep coming here to learn.
Yes, and I'm very much at peace with everything that is happening, and I know that I am divinely guided. You should be too. You should understand that, and I am where I need to be at all times, and I live in the moment of now, and I'm manifesting my life, so I'm not worried about other people's reality and other people's life. So here's another one. I can't get into the U.S. Are there distance appointments? Those are called online sessions. Yes. So if you want a session with me, just go to my website, albaweinman.com, sign up for the newsletter. It comes out once a month, and it will have some, we're not talking about a lot, some appointments in person and online. I am only working every other day. And some are here and some are online. So when you get into that newsletter link, the appointments go sometimes within a few minutes. Okay, we have somebody in Spanish.
She needs a session in person because she has concentration problems, and that's why she prefers a session in person.
Okay. Okay. As a hypnotherapist, what would you say is the most important tool in your tool bag?
Love,
Yeah. Yeah.
compassion.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
right.
Yeah. That's it. That's it.
If you don't, if you don't love your client, this is one thing that I was getting when I was, has happened to you, might have happened to many other people.
Yeah.
It also happened to. I remember when I read the book Many Lives, Many Masters by Brian Weiss. Right, he was receiving messages from the other side through their clients. In this case, through Catherine, this woman about the book, the woman who the book's
In the
about.
book. Yeah.
She was getting messages from the other side. One of the messages I was getting in my practice was from these beings. You have to do this with more love. And I didn't understand what they were talking about. So what are you talking about, love? And I'm thinking I'm facilitating a session. Is love a discount? Is love, what is love, right, in a session?
Yeah.
The same message came a few more times until I got it.
Yeah.
Once you connect to your client heart to heart,
Yeah.
and it's not that you feel sorry for them as they're going through those events, because you're helping this soul enter entrapment. You're empowering them. Once I understood how to love my clients, how to connect with them, my sessions changed completely.
Yeah.
So love is the
It's the
number
most
one
important
tool.
tool. Hello, Stephanie. Also good to see. When you guys type with those weird letters, it's really hard for
Big
me
loves to you
to
both.
to
Thank you,
see
Stephanie.
both together again.
Yeah.
Big love to. It's really hard for me. I'm old, and I'm a grammar and spelling Nazi. So when I see that, it's really hard for me to read those well.
Yeah.
But Stephanie, we love you. Thank you for being a Rainbow Warrior with us, and
Yes.
much love to both
Yes,
of you.
Jessica, thank you for reading my book. Thank you. And somebody else saying a lot of people say that when you die, you shouldn't go to the light. There's so many people saying so many things. That there's a false light, for example, right? I'm not able to say anything because I'm still incarnated.
Yep.
I'm
Yep.
not. But the ones that are going to decide and feel are my clients in a trance.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we haven't died in this life yet, so we don't have the answer to that.
Yeah.
We're going to do our work as we know we should do it, and
Yeah.
that's until.
One thing I can tell you based on my sessions is that if you don't go to the light, you don't reincarnate.
Yeah.
You need to go to the light to come back.
Yeah. By the way, the sound is a lot better on YouTube. Not sure if it's the experience for everyone, but I just noticed it when I hopped onto Antonio's Facebook Live. What can I say?
I use Android.
You
use iPhone.
I got
That's
an
the
iPhone.
problem.
He's got an Android. It could be our phone.
I'm just kidding.
It could
Who
be
knows?
Facebook. Who knows? But thank you for those of you
Yeah.
who want to jump onto his YouTube. This will be posted on his YouTube channel, Antonio Fangio.
Yes.
So we
Thank
have
you very
15
much.
people there. We have 10 here. I'm sorry for all the
No
so
problem.
many of them. Pam, hello. Thank you for being here. Pam's a lovely woman.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you again. Thank you for spending a few minutes,
few minutes.
with us. Quite a few minutes. It started with a
Yeah.
mosquito attack.
Mosquito attack. And this what you've just experienced is what has been happening with Antonio and I since 2014, since we've known each other.
Yeah.
When we start talking, it goes on forever because we always have
enjoy
something
talking
that we
about
love
this.
talking to each other, and we've been talking together since 2014, and this is what we talk about.
We talk about. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and we both have amazing clients. I would suggest, if you're looking for a session, go to Antonio. He's got plenty of sessions open, and you can see his videos on YouTube.
Yeah, go watch the video, see if you
Watch
resonate
it.
with what I do.
Yeah. So I don't do a lot of these on YouTube. So
Yeah, and I recommend you to come to Alba's Oasis. You have a workshop in November. Is it booked completely?
oh yeah, I have November 12th. I have a few seats left. It's booking really quickly, so I only have a limited amount there. So if you want to come here to Micanopy, we spend the whole day together. You come in starting at 8 in the morning and till 5, and it's really a nice time of bonding. according to Barry,
No,
there's,
that's who knows.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, we don't know about
So
that.
yeah, no. Next time I was telling Alba. Next time I want to bring Catherine, my wife,
Yeah, I love Catherine.
to experience your
Yeah,
ice.
it's
It's nice.
so he's going to be spending the night in the cabin. It's going down to I think the 50s tonight, so it's going to be nice
Yeah.
and cool in there. Last time you came, it was really hot.
It was hot.
Yes. So how do you reach Antonio? He's at Antonio Sangio, SANGIO.com,
.com.
and also on YouTube, Antonio Sangio. You could see how he works, and you could book a session with Antonio. And so
Yeah, again, first is just understand that our techniques, our styles
our
are
styles
different.
are different.
We were trained by the same teachers, but our
But we're
styles are
different
different.
people,
So,
we look different, we
Right.
sound different,
Yeah.
we do things differently. So, hey,
so yeah. So again, thank you for spending
thank you
time.
for watching.
You want more information? Visit my website. Buy the discourse from Alba. You got my books, My Soul's Purpose. Guiding Lost Souls is the second one, and the last one that speaks a lot about symptoms and soul entrapment and fragmentation and the wounded feminine energy, the symptoms of the soul.
Yeah,
All of them on Amazon.
and if you get to go to one of his workshops, it's online. Definitely go to one of them. You can volunteer to be a subject, and he will pick people from the audience to do a session with. They're really fast. They're real intense. Oh, thank you, Shaima,
Thank you.
for putting that down. So go to his workshops too. All right.
Thank you.
For those on Facebook, go to his YouTube channel so you could see this whole discussion if you're willing to listen
Yeah.
to all of us.
All right.
All right.
Bye bye. Until
Much
next time.
love.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Bye.
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 Oh, my arm.
So here, I guess here, are you?